Now, the US Coast Guard says that presumed human remains and debris from the doomed Titan submersible have been brought ashore in Canada. The fate of its 5 passengers made headlines after it went missing on a tourist expedition to the wreck of the Titanic 11 days ago.
It's a grim reminder of the perils of the sea and the dangers of deep-sea diving. Along with other debris, the US Coast Guard says it has recovered presumed human remains from the ocean floor after the catastrophic implosion of the Titan submersible. The Coast Guard did not declare the nature or extent of the possible remains, but said medical professionals will conduct a formal analysis in due course. The remains and further debris have been recovered from the site almost 4 kilometres beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. The Titan submersible was on a commercial trip operated by Ocean Gate, carrying 5 people to view the historic wreck of the Titanic when it went missing last week. After an intensive search using remotely operated undersea vessels, wreckage was found on the seabed just 100 metres or so from the world's most famous wreck. The debris suggested the Titan suffered a massive implosion, killing all on board. More than a century after it sank, the Titanic has drawn 5 more people to a watery grave. This recovery, though, might offer some comfort for the bereaved families who lost their loved ones in the disaster, while the authorities delve deeper into finding out what caused the fatal accident.
We can get more from Frank Owen. He's a sub recovery expert at the Submarine Institute of Australia. Thanks for your time. Can you tell us more about the dangers and the logistics of recovering debris and also possible human remains from a depth of almost 4,000 metres?
Oh, good morning or good afternoon to you, Anya. Yes, it's challenging. The dangers are probably more associated when they bring it out of from at the surface back onto the ship. But the challenges, the logistic challenges, are recovering components that are almost larger than the remotely operated vehicle itself. Perhaps not heavier, but they're certainly larger, and they certainly affect its ability to maneuver when it's already got a very heavy umbilical that it's trying to pull through the water as well.
OK. I mean, the possible causes of the implosion are now being investigated, aren't they? What can the debris tell us about the possible causes of an implosion and when the implosion might have happened?
Well, I'm not sure it'll tell us when. I think the best clue for the when is going to be the acoustic anomaly that was heard by the US Navy from its listening system on the seabed. That would... I'd be very surprised if that doesn't correlate with the actual time of the implosion. What the recovery, though, will tell us is much more about how and where the fractures occurred in the hull of this pressure vessel of this submersible, because when it happened, of course, it was instantaneous.
OK. From the footage we're seeing, I mean, there are several parts of the Titan that seem intact. They're not crushed. I mean, how can that be, given that the immense water pressure at that depth?
Yeah, I think we all see the experiments, the science experiments of a Coke can or a can of some form being put under different temperatures and shrinking, imploding on itself. This is implosion caused by a failure of a part, and the rest of the vehicle being scattered by the force that's generated by the inrush of pressure into the pressure vessel, into the inside of the vessel. So it's broken. It's almost certainly failed in one part, and the rest, the debris, is then the bits that have been scattered from that.
I see. It's clearly an extremely complicated operation. Who's paying for all of this?
Well, I would say that the search and rescue itself is covered by under international law, because Canada and America have a maritime obligation for safety of life at sea, and each country has maritime search and rescue areas, and So this very clearly, for the search anyway, fits into the purview of the US, and they were managing and coordinating the rescue operation. The cost of that recovery, I'm not sure it's hugely additional, but once they already had the ROV on site and was doing and had located the debris, then the ROV is there. The real costs are in the mobilising of it. There's a slight incremental cost for each day it's there, but I think most of the costs are already covered.
All right, Frank, thank you so much for your time. That's Frank Owen from the Submarine Institute of Australia.